From what's left of the structure, looks like the boys were a little late to the party there. Hey there, welcome to the channel. For you people, if this is your first time here, my name's Peter. I'm a 25-year veteran of the fire department, and what we're going to do here today is we're going to look at a video together, and then we're going to look at it again, and I'm going to break it down for you. So let's get fired up and get this thing going. Well, that's a big structure fire. So this is going to be what they call a defensive fire here. Nobody's going into the structure. Obviously, there's no reason to. It's pretty well can collapse any time. All that's left is the beams, and so it's just going to be a defensive fire attack. From what's left of the structure, looks like the boys were a little late to the party there. Okay, why is the guy sitting on top of the fire hose? Well, what you do is you wrap it in a circle, and then you put the fire hose back over on top of itself, and then you basically sit down and you hold the end of the hose up. And the reason you do this is because it's a lot less stressful on you when the hose is on the ground and you get the hose laying on top of the hose just before the nozzle. All you're really doing there is just pointing the nozzle now, instead of trying to hold the hose with all the back pressure that's building up when you're trying to hold the hose by yourself. If it's that big of a hose, you need two men on the end of it at minimum, unless you got it down the ground like he has, and you're literally sitting on the hose that's wrapped around the top of the hose. And you can see they got a monitor going too off the truck, so they got that going. So water supply doesn't seem to be a problem here. It looks like they got lots of pressure. What's the most difficult thing about putting out this fire? Well, the most difficult thing is to make sure it doesn't spread. It's already collapsed in on itself. You're just going to make sure that the radiant heat doesn't catch anything else on fire, such as some of the outbuildings or a house nearby, or the trees or forests nearby or whatever. You want to keep it contained in the spot that it's burning. There's not a big show of manpower here. There's no point, because the structure's already fully involved and there's nothing inside. It's just going to collapse on itself. I think they got about six or seven people at the fire here. That's really all you need on a fire like this. Okay, the cherry picker or bucket truck or whatever you want to call it, they won't use that on this fire because it doesn't constitute putting it up. You've got enough water on the fire's being put out, and they're not going to really achieve anything else by using that bucket truck. So it's there on standby just in case they need to use it. But when you're on the bucket truck, you're basically fighting fires from above, and the roof's already gone off this barn. All the siding's gone. The only thing left is the supporting structures. So you really don't need to set up a bucket truck for this. It looks like they got about 90% of it put out now, so now they're just going to go around and hit the hot spots, make sure it's all out. Okay, what happens when the fire's put out? Well, the fire initially is put out, but then you have to hang around and continue putting water on it, and you're checking for hot spots. You're doing an overhaul. So basically you go into where the burn area is, and you put out the hot spots that you can see. You could using pike poles to push wood around, to move things, to make sure there's no fire underneath some of the wood that's already collapsed, because you don't want it to reignite again. So that's what you're doing. You're doing an overhaul. You're doing the overhaul after you have the main structure put out. Well, they did a good job, and that's the way you handle a barn fire. Once it's totally involved, there's not much else you can do but stand back, put the water on the red stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and stay tuned for more upcoming videos. See you soon. Be careful.